Yo, what going on? Welcome to One Cute Fat Boy. This is your boy Biggs, and I got another banger for you, a mukbanger. Appreciate you for coming and joining me today. Today, what I got for you is seafood boil. Now, I must give a disclaimer. I did not do this my own, so I did not prepare it this time. I'm definitely gonna have you guys join me in the kitchen and show you how I throw down, because I don't think there's anything better than my own personal seafood boil, because I just know how to do it right. And I got them good seasonings because, of course, being Jamaican, how could I not? But I have a very good close second. A local spot here called Cajun, King Cajun, and it's a really great, it's one of those hole-in-the-wall spots that you kind of look at, you pass by, you give it a second eye, you squinch up and you think, I don't know if I have my tetanus shot, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot anyway. But when you go in, you're actually amazed. It looks way better on the inside than it does on the outside. And it's absolutely the best food find that you'll find. It's an Asian place that does specialize in Creole and Cajun seafood. And it's absolutely great. So typically, what I have today is they have special with snow crabs, which they have really great, nice sized snow crabs. If you see that there, really great, nice sized snow crabs. They also have potatoes, sausage. No, actually, I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. I'm hungry. So good. I had sausage, egg. So get some egg in there. And then also in here are some little live crawfish. Now, we're winding down the season for crawfish. And typically they're the only place that I get crawfish because they have them live. Most places that you get crawfish, they don't give you an option. They just give you crawfish when you order them, and they're actually frozen, which I do not like my seafood pre-frozen, except for crab legs. Pretty much crab and lobster. I mean, you really can't help that because they're always being imported, and they're flash steam on the time right off the ship. And when they come to you frozen, it's still good to go and pretty good and fresh. So I have the crawfish, and then I also have some Dungeness crab in here somewhere. Guys, if you get to know me, I am a crab connoisseur. I've been eating crabs and seafood since I was a baby. My mom, God rest her soul, that was her favorite thing to eat. And she says when she was pregnant with me, that's all she ever wanted. But her favorite is actually blue crabs. So I'm also going to show you blue crabs one day. But today they just didn't have them. And the season with blue crabs is, it's just, it picks up and back and forth. So it's really typically any time that there's cold months, they're pretty good. But they didn't have those live today, so I went with what I could get. So I'm going to say a little prayer. Father God, I thank you for this food. I ask you to bless it to my body, take all impurities, and let my body absorb only what it needs. And I just pray that for anyone that's watching this, that you touch them, let them receive this and receive me well, and have a blessed day. I thank you for it in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, so let's get it in and get started. Let's see, man. So how you guys doing today, man? I appreciate you coming in and getting a bite with me. I always say, man, if you don't have time to take a bite, why eat it all? And what you will also notice is that I'm a slow and picky eater. Don't be silly. Yeah, I said picky eater. No, it don't look like it, but yeah. So I pick around at the things I like, and I like to get it just right before I start eating. I don't know, some people eat only like one thing at a time, My wife, she cooks me because if she gets food, she eats like each little section one at a time. And I'm one of those people that, like, if it's Thanksgiving dinner and you're eating, I want a little bit of everything on my fork because it's really how you mix it up together that makes it taste really good, you know? But that's just me. Well, this is going to be really messy, so, I mean, we're friends and family here, so, don't judge me. I mean, I know y'all going to talk about me anyway because that's what y'all do. But that's neither here nor there. If you get to know me, when you get to know me, I can dish it pretty good too. All right, so I know a lot of people, like my sister, she doesn't really, I don't know, I think she's more of a crab snob because she only eats like king crab and snow crab because she doesn't like getting all messy and getting all through all that hassle trying to pick meat. But I don't mind it. I think that's part of the fun. Only thing is that if you're really, really hungry, if you're starving, unless you really love crab or you really love seafood, it's probably not the thing to get because you're going to spend more than half of your time picking through shells and cracking shells before you can even get to the smallest amount of meat. Another thing, don't judge me on, is I don't use scissors. I know, I see a lot of people out there in YouTube land. They're using the nice little shears and scissors, and they cut their crabs in half and get their meat out. I'm just used to old school, and I bite through mine. Savage. It's good like that. Also, throughout the time, I've learned how to break the crab down so you optimize the meat. So like here, I start with the first section. You're always going to get that little nub of meat out of there. You go back and dip that. Great little piece of nub. Now, depending on if you're a savage and if you're a real G in this game, then there's a good little piece of meat in there. Most people are going to throw this away. No, don't do it. Break it, and boom. There's a good little piece of meat in there, man. And with the amount of money that you pay for these, because let's be honest, this dish ain't cheap. So you might want to get every little morsel that you can. And typically that's when you're going to get your good meat. And that's how you know if the crab has been cooked well, and also that it's fresh. And also you want to make sure you get this segment completely separated. And I'll show you why. It's because when you do, the crab's tendon, really, which is these little feathery gristle things, when that comes out, that's what actually holds the meat on into the crab. But once that's out, you can pull out your meat. And that is, of course, the prize when you got that little bit of meat right there in that section. That's so good. And the flavor here, I typically have any Asian cookery or Asian restaurant that does seafood. Mostly they have that Cajun seasoning. It's well known by being like that deep red color. It's a tad bit sweet on the sweet side, fairly spicy, very well seasoned. I typically get mine garlic butter Cajun. So it's garlic butter and Cajun seasoning already in it. And I typically get mild. Now, I know somebody's going to make fun of me. How am I Jamaican and eating mild food? Listen, I love spicy food. I love hot sauce, but I don't like it for just the spice. like, I don't want hot to where my mouth is so fiery, blistering that I can't even enjoy my food. I like spicy where it kind of gets you in the back of the throat a little bit, and your lips are a little tingle. But, you're not in so much pain that you can't even enjoy yourself. So, their spice is like mind-numbing spicy. So their mild is actually a normal, like, spicy, but it's just not, like, ridiculous to where it's melting your face off. So, to each his own, but I'd say definitely try mild, then move up to medium, and then stupid is anything after that. And then again, you'll see, I take that out. Now this is ready, but I'm gonna go here, try to crack that and get that little nugget. Put that out. Up there. And there we go. And then we get that little meat out there. Now, that's typically how I get my meat out when this video is loaded with so many things. Just ignore me. But when I typically get the crab out of here, when I'm first starting, I'll go through and I'll get like every little morsel. But then when I'm getting tired or I'm like about done, you'll see I'll just just move on to just the big parts. That's pretty much it. Now, crawfish, I didn't typically eat until I was in my latter years. I went to my spouse's family gathering, and they're from Mississippi. All you country folks out there from the Bayou of Mississippi and New Orleans and all that area. And they pretty much had a like 50-pound bag of crawfish that was like spread out for like the whole family. And that's pretty much all that was there. Besides other stuff that I just wasn't going to eat. I mean, no offense to my in-laws. That's another story. But they had this and they were delicious. And so they gave me a little, tutorial on how to eat them properly. And I've been eating them ever since. Now, if you really are hungry and you really don't want to be bothered, you definitely don't want to eat crawfish, because that is really a burden of love, because it takes me, now some people I've seen, they can go through crawfish like butter, like it's nothing. My wife is one of those people, but me, I'm just not there yet. It takes me forever. Like it took me like 20 seconds just to get one little bit of meat out. And I mean, it's worth it. It's delicious, but it's like, man, it's a lot of work. Now, typically, when I was younger, there really wasn't like king crab and stuff like that. It wasn't really for us. I mean, it was probably out there, but I'm from humble beginnings, and so we stuck with the less expensive crab, which is a blue crab, and it's every now and then lobster or something like that. One time I took a trip to Maine on business, and I came back and I brought my mom and family back like a whole case of lobster. But mostly we did blue crab and occasionally snow crab, because again, my sister's a little snooty and didn't like picking through blue crab. But now that I've gotten older and more established. I really enjoy king crab, but king crab is extremely hard to maneuver through because they're so well armored and spiky. It's hard to get through those. So I understand people using the jaws of life and scissors and anything else they can find to crack a king crab because it's rough. So what are you guys eating? Like, one of these days I'm gonna do a live and maybe just choose a couple people to come and join me and we just eat together. Maybe we just like, I'll let you guys know like what I'm gonna be eating or what I'm gonna be doing. And we'll do a live mukbang and we'll all sit down and just have dinner together and talk. That's my thing. That's what I like to do. That's kind of like what started me into and I'm drinking Sunkist now. I rarely ever drink soda. This is like ginger ale for my tummy. But I'm more of a like either like tea or my favorite drink is half sweet tea, half diet lemonade. But when you're dealing with like all this like very rich, like it's very buttery and all the butter and seasonings and stuff like that, just so it doesn't upset my tummy, I'll drink a soda to kind of, give myself some help with digestion. I absolutely love eggs and your seafood boil. Everybody has their different type of seafood boil or different ingredients, but I think it depends on the region where you're from. Well, that's typically what I like on mine. But I was saying, so it's kind of got me into doing the mukbangs. Is about one thing. I love watching them. I absolutely understand. A lot of people wonder, they think it's the weirdest thing. Like, why do you want to sit down and watch anybody eat? Why do you want to sit down here, smacking and hear people eating and all this other stuff? Listen, it's not for everybody, but if you really understand it and you really, sit down and you get it. I mean, I think one thing, the biggest thing for me is I love culture. And one of the easiest and quickest ways, if you don't speak another language, if you don't hear, if you don't do anything else, you can reach people through food. If you sit down, everybody has to eat, everybody has their favorite meal, everybody has their comfort food, and you sit down and you share a meal with somebody, that's like the easiest and quickest way to get to know someone and kind of understand like who they are, where they're from. Understand a lot about people. And I think that's one of the things that, besides just seeing people eat crazy stuff, I think that has a lot to do with why these are so popular. And there's such a big mukbang community, is because, you get to share a part of yourself with people. Tell people like, oh, yo, you got to try this. It's really good. It's a good thing. And and I like that. So, other than that, is I'm a big guy. I enjoy food in a sense of I love trying different foods. I love trying, like I said, connecting with different cultures through food. I know, like, I'm Jamaican and we eat probably some weird stuff. Other people would think of some weird things. Goat, fish heads. Things like that. So, a lot of people would think, I know some people, it's one of probably the most mundane, just easygoing, just normal things that we eat are oxtails. But because, a lot of people don't really, back in the day, a lot of people didn't really know what oxtails were. They're like, oh, we eat ox. And I realized it's just a cow's tail. That's it. And it's like, it used to be like the cheapest, like throwaway cuts of the meat. And of course, you take that and, you don't have a lot of money, but you need to feed your family. And you go and you take that oxtail, big oxtail, you braise it, stew it down with like some potatoes or some broad beans and a nice brown gravy, and you stew it down until it gets tender and it's all gelatinous, and you've got that gravy, and you put it over some rice or some bread. It's like the best thing you ever ate in your life. But you tell somebody else, like, yo, you're eating oxtails, they're like, what the hell are you doing eating an oxtail? Like, why? Like, and not like near the ox's butt where the poop comes from. Nobody wants to eat that. But when you actually have it, it's like one of the best things you ever eaten in your life. So, I don't really scoff on people's foods and cultures and things like that. I think you should, hey, if it's something different, try it. Why not? And that's why, I love cooking. I love enjoying, food with other people and getting to know them. It's a good thing. That's another thing I'm gonna do for you guys is I'm gonna cook some Jamaican food, maybe some oxtails and some goat, some billy goat. I'm just playing. And we can enjoy it. Leave me in the comments, man. Tell me where you guys are from and some of your favorite meals. If you like seafood, if you what's the favorite things that you like to put in your seafood, or maybe like some sauce or something that is really good with seafood. Me, typically, I'm just a purist. Like, every now and then I might get a little clarified butter if I'm being fancy. But really, I just enjoy the seafood, period. I know, probably cringy seeing and hearing me crunch on these crab legs, but it's just what I'm used to. And like I said, these are really not that hard. Now the king crab is a little more problematic. See that? Nice meat. And another thing about this is that by the time you get done, you probably eat way less than what you would normally eat in a meal because you get so damn tired of cracking shells, and to where you probably just get more tired than you are full. And some people will keep their seafood and warm it up the next day. You can, but that's not me. I typically like whatever I don't eat, that pretty much is, unless it's like shrimp or if I do have crawfish left over, I'll de-shell it. If I do have crab or something, I take it out the shell and cover it up, put it in the freezer, and maybe make like a pasta dish or something out of it. Saute it, season it, add a little butter, some more seasonings, and a little pasta sauce or Alfredo or something like that, and you might have a nice little lunch for the next day if you have enough left over. But typically, I don't know, very leery and funny when I like eating seafood the next day. One time, me and my wife was traveling, and we went to some friends. They were having like a big like birthday party and things like that. So they were having a crab boil. Of course, we got there really late. So the birthday party was like that Saturday, but people were coming in. They were having a crab boil like on that Friday, and then a big barbecue the next day. So we didn't make it on the crab boil. We got there really late. So we pretty much just, got in, had a little drink, had a couple laughs, and shot to bed. And so I get up the next day, and I'm like, oh man, they're telling us about all this great seafood they had, and I had a bunch of crabs and potatoes and all this other stuff, corn, all this stuff. They're like, oh yeah, you guys want some seafood? I'm like, well, we're on vacation, whatever. I don't normally eat seafood for breakfast, but oh shit, it's like 11 o'clock, it's brunch, we're on vacation, whatever. I'm down for whatever. Man. Then I hear, oh well, I'm like, and I go look, I'm like, so, where's the seafood? I'm like, it's out back. I'm like, out back where? It's on the porch. I'm like, okay, maybe they got like a freezer or something out on the porch, Like, there's no way. They just left a bunch of crabs and seafood just sitting outside there, just chilling. Nowhere. I just couldn't fathom it. Lo and behold, I go outside, I look around, and there's like a big, like a wash tub, like tin tub outside full of water. Murky, just not very appealing. So I go in, and I'm like, huh. And there's like a stick, like somebody's been using to stir it around, and I stir it around, and I'm seeing like crab bodies just float up and come back down, and every now and then I'll see a potato and a piece of corn, and I'm like, sons of bitches, they're trying to kill me. I'm like, I mean, is it me? Am I sedating, or is that like you begging for like botulism or whatever disease you eat from eating seafood that's been left out overnight? I was like, no thanks. I took my ass back inside and made some eggs. I think I ate some cereal. I'm like, yeah, I'll pass on the salmonella. So, and to each his own. Oh man. I guess I should be playing. Oh, that's a good one. Another thing that, if you guys eat seafood and enjoy it, that's like one of the things that makes you like so happy, makes you give that little dance in your soul when you pull out like a whole piece of meat like that and it doesn't break off. So happy. It's so good. A little more potato. I usually like corn also, I love corn in a crab bowl, but they don't have really good corn there. Now, there's typically two places in town that I get seafood. The place here, which is called King Cajun. There's another place that has really great seafood also, but theirs is a little more, it's a little different. It's not really Cajun style. There, I don't know really what you would call it because it's more like a herb and more garlicky, more herb butter. It's not the typical like Cajun spices. And theirs, when it's done, it's just finished off with, like I said, herb butter. No Cajun seasonings and stuff like that. It's not spicy. I mean, you can get it spicy, but and you can tell it's a little spicy because my nose is starting to run. But sometimes when I'm being like real fat, I'll go and get my seafood from King Cajun. Because they have like the best like potatoes, sides, like the potatoes, sausage, that's the best sausage. And sometimes in the mood for, a little spicy, a little Cajun thing. But I still want like the corn and the eggs. And the other spot has the best corn, so tender, so sweet. It's like fresh corn, not the little frozen niblet joints. I can't stand those. Ain't got no flavor. So I'll go there and I'll just get an order of corn and eggs. And then I'll come and like do a little remix and I'll add the corn and eggs into this. And then I'll have everything that I want. But I don't do that too often because that's just real fat. I try not to be too greedy. Another thing about this place is they give you a lot. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it's not cheap. But it's not that bad. For like, I don't mind telling you guys, for like a pound of snow crab is like $25. A pound of Dungeness crab, which I typically just get, and to them like a pound is like 2 clusters, so they usually get 2 full clusters. Like you see this is like 1 cluster, so that's like half a pound, so you get 2 of these for $25. And then for Dungeness crab, which is this, you get 2 of these for $30. But because they know me and I'm a frequent patron of their store, they'll let me split up stuff and get pretty much what I want. So I'll get like 1 cluster of this and I'll split it. And then the crawfish are like $10 a pound. And or you can sometimes get, like, if you're gonna get like a bunch of crawfish and feed for like a several people, they'll give you, like, if you buy 4 pounds or 5 pounds, you get like 1 pound free, something like that. But I don't eat that much crawfish. So, I mean, for what it is, I mean, if you eat like this, you eat the seafood, you're going to be eating like, you're going to be spending at least, I'd say like $40 to $60 per person. That includes all your sides and everything like that. So really this was like 25, 35, 40, 50. It was about $55 or $60, which really isn't, it's not that bad. It's really not. and it's a lot of food. I mean, really, two people, average sized people, like two average sized people, maybe, or one big boy like myself could eat it off of this and get full, have plenty. But I can go through the crab pretty quickly. Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump into, now, if not blue crab, then probably I love blue crab. Blue crab is just it's a different beast altogether. So, I mean, typically you just have to like blue crab because the meat is totally different texture, flavor, everything. But I get close to it is Dungeness. And Dungeness, to me, the shell is like paper thin almost. Like, it's very easy to crack. Like, literally, it's very thin. So, I even have to be kind of careful not to, like, crush the meat. And it comes out in these little like crab nuggets. And the texture is a little more dense and a little more flaky. It's not as tender and smooth as the snow crab, but it's, I think, sometimes a little sweeter. And a little heartier. So it typically, it's also a cheaper version of it is called Jonah crab, which is being a little bit more popular because it's a little more sustainable. And listen, you guys are gonna hear me talk, a bunch of shit. I'm really a big nerd at heart, so I do kind of, look at sustainability for different, seafoods and things like that, and kind of monitor those kinds of things, like when I'm partaking of certain things. So, but I've had Jonah crab once before, and it's not bad. It's really similar to the Dungeness. It's, like I said, it's a little bit cheaper. The ultimate, though, is the colossal king crab, which is probably one of my favorites. It's really has a really mild, really sweet flavor. It has a really buttery, but solid texture, like lobster. That was a piece of sausage. It's the best sausage. Now, if you're just joining me, please come in, grab a drink, grab a little snack, something to eat on, and have a seat. relax, take a load off, and enjoyment, man. And I said I'm gonna do lives so that we can all talk. We can talk and have some conversation. It's really difficult. Like it's a little weird having like a conversation with yourself, but we all do it. We all know. We're in the car and you're trying to think out loud or thinking to yourself. I'm kind of like that, but you know, which we have way more time to think to ourselves these days with everything that's going on. It's kind of crazy. Today, it was part of my outing because I am quarantined and I pretty much do everything from home, work from home. Try not to go too many places or be out too much. But it's like, excuse me, you get stir crazy and you get tired of seeing the same walls and the same face. I mean, it's hard to get tired of seeing this face, but you get tired of just seeing the same thing. Like literally, there's absolutely nothing else on TV that I can possibly watch. I've gone through, I have Hulu, Netflix, I have every Disney, every streaming thing that you could possibly think of, and I think I've watched everything on every series. I'm starting to watch shit that I would normally never even watch. Now, I have found a couple of good series and things that I watch. That's another thing we have to start talking about. But if there's any good shows or any good series that you guys know, I hate horror. I'm a big scaredy cat. I don't like nothing scary. So no, I don't want, you can keep that to yourself. But anything that's, like comedy or sci-fi, like I said, I'm a big geek. So I can't wait for Mandalorian 2. Oh, that's one of my big shows. Don't judge me. If you don't know what it is, look it up. Or it just ain't for you. But I love Mandalorian. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. It's like one of my big things. But I watch like every last one of them. I've gone through them like all at least twice. I went back and watched them all in order. I went back and watched even the cartoons like the Clone Wars and all of them. Man, I'm going to lose a lot of you right now because I'm really nerding out right now. Like I said, don't judge me. Don't go anywhere. Don't leave. Come back. Hey, listen. Right now, you really don't have the luxury of being choosy or pointing your nose down at what I watch. Because y'all are in quarantine too. At least you should be. So you never know. You might want to go and check out some of that Star Wars stuff or Star Trek. Some good stuff, man. But yeah, if you guys know have any good series, we just finished Greenleaf, which was actually phenomenal. It was a little rough for me because I'm not like not to get into now, but my mother passed not too long ago, and I'm still dealing with that. So like anything that's dealing with like death or like real heavy, like I can't really, I don't know, I just kind of shy away from it because I'm still trying to deal, So it got kind of heavy for me. So I kind of just stopped watching it in the last couple episodes. But actually, I was really surprised at how great it was. And I remember hearing about it a while back. I just never did watch it. You know, like, I would work like 10 to 12 hours a day. And so I barely had time to watch my cartoons. So, yeah, I watch cartoons. I love them. They're not really cartoons, they're anime. There's a difference. Like I said, don't judge me. But I never really thought of it, never really watched it. But found myself watching it. And my wife put it on. And it was great. I mean, it's a phenomenal cast. It was really good. So I was sad to kind of see it go. We just finished that. And then I found Ozarks. Man, Ozarks was, I don't know the guy. Oh man, what's the guy's name? I don't know the guy's name, but he's in a couple of movies. And I think he's really underrated, but whatever the guy is, the main character in Ozarks, I know you guys know. Someone commented below. It's phenomenal. I love that show. My production says it's Jason something right here, but he's excellent. I really find myself liking all of his movies. They're all always really good. What else did I watch? Man, I watch a lot of things. I've gone back through so many different series and just basically started watching them again. Now I find myself going back through like the old Martin episodes. I watched the ones where he went to the cult convent and the big lady was trying to get freaky deaky with him. Him and Brother Rock. So I watched that. That's always hilarious. Like some of those old school sitcoms. Martin, Different World. Man, there's a lot of them that you go back to them and it's like Living Single. It's still hilarious. Like, you know, those shows were like way before their time, because even now, and those shows have been, man, those shows have got to have been gone like 20 years ago. No, not 20 years back in the 90s. But they're still hilarious. It's still funny. And so I still love Martin. So I've been going back and watching that. Besides, you know, like try to get out of the house and at least just maybe go to the lake, go to the park and stuff like that. All this craziness is going on. Definitely try to stay away from people. I was in the hospital recently, but that's another story also. But I had to get COVID tested, so I thank God I'm COVID free. They had to shove a pipe cleaner up my nose to my brain. It was very uncomfortable, but at least I was able to verify I was COVID free. Thank God. But that's it, man. I really don't know what else to do. Like all of this, like I was just like starting like getting back to the gym. Now I can't do that. So I work out a little bit at home. I just try to do like 30 minutes a day, 30 to 45 minutes here at home. And then there's really nothing else to do. Yeah. So, you guys have to give me some ideas of some shows. I mean, anything. Anything but horror. I hate horror. Well, next time I have a list of all my really good favorite series and shows. You guys can tell me how you like them. Oh man, I'm slowing down. That's like seafood. You don't necessarily just get full. You get tired. Look at that. Nice big chunk of meat. So good. Another downside to seafood. The cleanup, man. Cleanup sucks. But what I do like about going and ordering out for seafood rather than cooking it myself is at least it keeps the cleanup to a minimum. Everything comes in like a nice pan. It's bagged up, so typically like you just put everything back in a pan, seal the bag up, tie it up, put it in a garbage bag, and put it in the can outdoors. And just hope that you have cats or in my neighborhood we have raccoons, so we have little critters, which is terrible because they're not afraid of you. I had a raccoon try to run me back to my house one night. He was not afraid at all. I think he sensed my fear. Yeah, so I went back inside. Don't judge me. You would have done the same damn thing. So I don't know if you have that problem in your neighborhood, but we do here. So if I do eat seafood, I try to do it on like just the weekends, so that way I know the garbage is coming and it's not going to just be sitting out. You definitely don't leave it in the house. And then put it out in the garbage and put the lid on. No, it's not going to just be sitting out there for a long time. Attracting the varmints. Oh man. Well, you guys have been rocking with me for a minute. I really do appreciate them. I just want to just kind of like a run through, kind of get my feet wet. I'll definitely look to be making some more videos, doing some more things. My channel is I really haven't talked to you guys about the channel, about what I'm about or what I'm doing. I will. Again, it's kind of like I was hungry. I ain't gonna lie, and it took me a while to get set up. So our food was getting cold, and I was just kind of like, man, I just want to go ahead and just get at it. So I kind of just jumped into it. Cold seafood is no bueno. But I'm gonna get into what my vision of the channel is gonna be and what you guys can expect from me. I mean, pretty much, this is a place. It's a safe place. Sometimes, it's pretty much just a place where I can be myself, connect with, people that are like-minded, and even people that aren't like-minded. Different people, different points of view, different walks of life. Because I'm interested. I like getting to know people. It's one of these times now with the quarantine and everything that's going on. It's like it's so questionable, and people are like so separated. And this is one of those times where it's like you need human interaction. You need to interact with other people. And so one of the few good things about social media and all of this, YouTube and everything, is that you can really connect with other people that are like you and people that aren't like you, and just to get to know different people and different cultures and things like that. And that's kind of really what I'm about. And that's kind of what I envision my channel to be about. I plan on doing a lot of lives and a lot of streaming. Yeah, probably. Will I do a lot of mukbangs? Yes, because again, that's kind of what I like and what kind of the venue or the tool that I use to kind of connect with you guys. But there's going to be other things too, whether if it's a vlog or you guys just like get ready and go out with me on one of my daily quarantine adventures, when I brave the outdoors and just drive around and just see things and get some fresh air. Or if it's just videos and just some silly things and crazy stuff that I see that I just need to show other people because shit just crazy sometimes. A place where we can just talk, man. Just feel free to have a good conversation without too much judgment, and not for the rest of not getting too deep, but keep it light, keep it friendly. I know there's going to be some trolls out there. I'm okay with that. Trolls are welcome too. I'm good with it. But pretty much easygoing guy. I'm not going to be harping on you like, oh, like my videos, please subscribe. Hey, if I vibe with you and you vibe with me, and I'm somebody that you want to kick it with, and come in and spend some time getting to know, then yeah, man, absolutely. Like, subscribe, share, all that stuff is great. It definitely, definitely supports me. I'm happy to have you. And if not, then hey, man, just drop in every now and then and just enjoy some conversation. See see what I'm eating on and what I got going on. Enjoy yourself, man. I'm not into stressing. Really easygoing cat. I think it's just the Caribbean vibes in my blood. But I think I'm done. At this point, guys, I am, for all purposes, I'm pretty full. Really not so much like full. I think I'm just like, I'm tired of cracking crabs. I don't want to do it no more. So now's the time when I'll pick through and eat like my potato and sausage and be like, I probably shouldn't have got all this. I'm probably not going to eat it later. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed you guys coming along and hanging out with your boy. Again, you're rocking out with one cute fat boy. And this is your boy Biggs. Yo, be easy. Enjoy life. Hey, some rough, weird times now, so don't be too hard on yourself or anyone else. And remember, take time to enjoy a bite, because if you don't take time to, why eat it all? And thanks for joining me. I'm out. I look forward to seeing you guys again. Definitely be dropping another video soon. And I think next time we'll do some Jamaican food, or it might be Jamaican food and then this. I don't know. I have some videos up for you guys and where you guys can join me. Again,